So Tom, this is a big shoot. How did you prepare for this?
Well, there was a lot of preparation in many sort of different fields. I think the first of which was obviously to sort of learn the history of what it is that these guys went through. There was a lot of reading, and we were given this huge stack of books, which I didn't admittedly get through all of them, that we had to go through. And so it started off with that, and then the physical side of it started, and that was sort of training to be a sailor. We were learning how to sail this ship, and they brought in experts, and a few of the crew members that you actually see in the film are real sailors, and they were always there to sort of give us a helping hand and make sure we were doing it correctly so we didn't look like idiots. So we started off with that, and then the sort of physical side of it, of getting into shape, came into play, and we all started going to the gym with each other, and we all started lifting weights, which was cool. I've never really done that before. I'd never sort of been in the gym and worked out. So for me, that was all really exciting. And then obviously the weight loss happened, and that sort of happened halfway through the shoot when we had to obviously look emaciated, and that brought us as a crew even closer together. And I think that relationship that experience formed is what sort of makes the film what it is.
Did you work out with Chris?
Yeah. One of the coolest things about Chris is that he was so involved with the rest of the crew, and he was always there. We did the weight loss together, and he was sort of like our rock. I mean, he never really complained about the weight loss. I mean, obviously there's a few occasions where he was like, "Oh, I'm really hungry," but he was so solid and so strong that he was sort of like our leader, and we were all sort of split off into different boats, as I'm sure you've seen in the film. Chris's boat, Chase's boat, it was great because I got to hang out with him, and he's super cool, and I actually built up a really good relationship, and I'm glad to say we're good buddies.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you spent a lot of time, the whole movie's in water.
Mm-hmm.
Cold.
Yes.
Explain some of it in the tank, some of it out in the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, it was hardcore, man. The water was always cold, always. Even when they told us that they'd heated it, it was always cold. I mean, it was really good fun, you know. I mean, the fact that it was really hard work felt good because what it is that these sailors went through was unimaginable. So I felt like, for me personally, the harder the job was, the better a job I was doing. It was pretty tough just being wet all the time. And the worst thing is that because obviously we were filming at sea, we had to get up really early so that we got as much light as possible. We'd be like out on the boat really super early, and my costume guy that used to look after me, Anthony, would come up and be like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I've got to spritz you down." And then he would just spray me with water every single morning. And I don't want to say that he enjoyed it, but I think he did.
How did you enjoy shooting in Spain?
It was fantastic. It was really, really good fun. It was a beautiful island with really wonderful people, and it was tough because we only shot on land once, and all the rest was out at sea on this boat. And when we were out at sea, it was really hard. It was really hot, and we were obviously at sea. So that was a really tough side of it. But being back on land, it was a beautiful island, and it was really wonderful.
You know, some of the film is some of the story is quite brutal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What does it take to get people to do some of the things that they do to survive? Do you think? I think it kind of is one of the reasons why this film is so universal is that it follows one of the most basic instincts of humanity, and that is survival. There's like more than reproduction, more than anything. Man will do whatever it is that he can do to survive. And I mean, these guys are on these boats, and there's no other way to survive. And they all want to survive, so they say, well, let's draw lots. It's the only fair way that we can do it. Because why should we all die when we can sacrifice one of us can go and we can save the rest? And it's actually a law at sea, like it's a legal thing that you can do. And I mean, it's dreadful to think about it. I mean, cannibalism is one of the greatest taboos, really. You just don't talk about it. I don't want to know. But these men, this is what they had to do to survive. And I almost felt like they had a duty to survive. I mean, these people have like wives and kids at home that they're trying to feed and look after. So they have a duty to survive and come home. And I think that's what drove these men into coming home and surviving. Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.